Worst vegetables diabetics must avoid. Living with diabetes can be challenging. It's a condition that requires constant struggle, not just in what you eat but in how your body reacts to certain foods. Diabetes affects how your body processes glucose, and over time, it can lead to serious health complications, heart disease, kidney failure, vision loss, and nerve damage, to name a few. What makes it even trickier is that some foods can sneakily worsen your blood sugar levels without you realizing it. Often, there are no early symptoms until it's too late, which is why primary prevention is so crucial. Today, we're exploring something that might surprise you: the vegetables that can actually worsen diabetes. Yes, some vegetables, those that we generally consider healthy, can be harmful to diabetics if eaten in excess or not prepared mindfully. We're going to talk about the 6 worst vegetables diabetics should avoid and why these vegetables can be detrimental if you're managing diabetes. Starting with one that may raise a few eyebrows: corn. Corn is a staple in many diets, but when it comes to diabetes, it's not always the best choice. Why? Well, corn is packed with carbohydrates, specifically starch. When you eat corn, that starch quickly breaks down into glucose, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. For people managing diabetes, these spikes are something you want to avoid. The glycemic index, GI, of corn is on the higher side, meaning it raises blood sugar faster than many other foods. Over time, these rapid increases in blood sugar can lead to more severe complications like heart disease, nerve damage, and kidney problems, all of which are common in people with diabetes. Let's talk about diabetic neuropathy, nerve damage caused by high blood sugar levels. When blood sugar levels are consistently high, harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs, form in the body. These AGEs damage nerves and blood vessels, making conditions like neuropathy worse. Since corn can cause those blood sugar spikes, it contributes to the formation of AGEs, worsening nerve damage over time. So, regularly eating corn could be adding fuel to the fire if you're dealing with diabetic neuropathy. The same goes for diabetic nephropathy, which affects the kidneys. High blood sugar damages the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys, making it harder for them to filter waste from your blood. When you eat corn, the quick rise in glucose levels forces your kidneys to work harder to manage all that extra sugar. Over time, this added strain can make kidney problems worse, especially if you're already dealing with the early stages of kidney disease. One of the main reasons corn has this effect is because it contains a type of carbohydrate called amylopectin, which breaks down very quickly in the body. This rapid digestion leads to quick glucose spikes, overwhelming your body's ability to produce enough insulin. And when your body can't produce or use insulin effectively, you end up with insulin resistance, which is a major issue in type 2 diabetes. Eating foods high in amylopectin, like corn, only makes this worse, creating a vicious cycle of high blood sugar and insulin resistance. Another problem with corn is its lack of fiber. Fiber is what slows down the digestion of carbohydrates, allowing for a more gradual release of glucose into the bloodstream. Without enough fiber, the carbohydrates in corn get absorbed quickly, causing those dreaded blood sugar spikes. This rapid increase in glucose leads to oxidative stress, which damages your cells and causes inflammation. And inflammation plays a huge role in the progression of many diabetes-related complications, like nerve and kidney damage, as well as eye issues like diabetic retinopathy. Not only does corn make it harder to control your blood sugar, but it can also contribute to weight gain if eaten in large amounts. Gaining weight makes insulin resistance worse and increases the risk of other complications like heart disease, which is already more common in people with diabetes. There's solid evidence that high GI foods, like corn, increase the risk of cardiovascular problems. The constant strain from high blood sugar damages your blood vessels, making it easier for plaque to build up in your arteries, which can lead to heart attacks or strokes. So, what can you do if you love corn but need to keep your blood sugar in check? The best approach is to eat it in moderation and pair it with fiber-rich, non-starchy vegetables like spinach or cauliflower. These alternatives have a much lower glycemic index and won't cause the same spikes in blood sugar. They also provide plenty of nutrients and help regulate glucose levels, making it easier to manage your diabetes without compromising on flavor. Next on our list is potatoes. Potatoes are one of the most popular and versatile foods out there, but if you're managing diabetes, they can be more harmful than helpful. Like corn, potatoes are loaded with starch, which quickly breaks down into sugar once digested. This rapid breakdown causes a sharp spike in blood sugar levels, something diabetics need to avoid at all costs. Whether they're fried, mashed, or baked, the starch in potatoes gets converted into glucose almost immediately, making it difficult to maintain stable blood sugar levels. What's even more concerning is how potatoes can contribute to insulin resistance. When you eat foods that cause frequent spikes in blood sugar, your body has to produce more insulin to keep things under control. Over time, your body becomes less sensitive to insulin, leading to insulin resistance, a key issue in type 2 diabetes. In addition to their high starch content, potatoes have very little fiber, which is a big part of the problem. Fiber acts like a brake on digestion, slowing down how quickly carbohydrates are absorbed into the bloodstream. Since potatoes lack significant fiber, they don't have this buffering effect, meaning the sugar hits your bloodstream fast and hard. Without that slow release, you're left with a blood sugar spike, followed by a crash, which can leave you feeling tired and craving more carbs, a cycle that's tough to break and especially harmful for diabetics. But it's not just about blood sugar spikes. The lack of fiber in potatoes also means less support for gut health, which is important for people with diabetes. A healthy gut can improve insulin sensitivity and help in blood sugar management, but without enough fiber, you're missing out on these benefits. Fiber also helps manage cholesterol, and high cholesterol is another complication diabetics often face, increasing the risk of heart disease. Unfortunately, potatoes don't offer much in the way of this essential nutrient. One of the major long-term complications of uncontrolled diabetes is kidney damage. Constantly high blood sugar damages the small blood vessels in your kidneys, making it harder for them to filter waste from your blood. The high glycemic load from foods like potatoes adds to this burden, forcing your kidneys to work harder to manage excess glucose. Over time, this can lead to kidney function decline and, for some, even kidney failure. On the flip side, there are better alternatives to potatoes that are more diabetes-friendly. Sweet potatoes, for example, are a great option. They contain more fiber than regular potatoes and have a lower glycemic index, meaning they won't cause the same rapid spike in blood sugar. The fiber in sweet potatoes helps slow down the absorption of sugar, giving your body more time to handle it, which is critical for maintaining steady glucose levels. Next comes peas. Peas might seem like an innocent and nutritious addition to your meal, but if you're managing diabetes, you need to be mindful of how they can affect your blood sugar. While peas are indeed rich in essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber, they also pack a decent amount of carbohydrates, which can pose a problem if eaten in large quantities. The carbs in peas, just like potatoes and corn, come primarily from amylopectin, a type of starch that breaks down rapidly during digestion, leading to a quick spike in blood sugar levels. This fast-acting starch can make it harder to maintain stable glucose levels, especially if you're already struggling with insulin resistance. When you eat peas, the rapid breakdown of amylopectin means that glucose enters the bloodstream quickly. For diabetics, this can lead to hyperglycemia, a condition where blood sugar levels rise too high. Over time, frequent episodes of hyperglycemia can lead to serious complications like nerve damage, kidney issues, and even cardiovascular problems. Scientific studies have shown that consuming high-carb foods like peas can increase the risk of these complications, particularly in individuals who have difficulty managing their insulin levels. For those dealing with insulin resistance, peas can make things even trickier. Insulin resistance occurs when the body's cells stop responding to insulin, which is the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. Foods that cause a quick rise in glucose, like peas, force your body to produce more insulin in an effort to keep your blood sugar in check. However, when insulin resistance is present, this mechanism doesn't work efficiently, and your blood sugar levels remain elevated. Over time, This can lead to more severe diabetic complications, including neuropathy, nerve damage, and nephropathy, kidney damage. The tricky part about peas is that they're often seen as a healthy vegetable, which they are, but for diabetics, the key is moderation. Even though peas contain some fiber, it's not enough to fully counterbalance the high amount of carbohydrates that can raise blood sugar quickly. That's why it's important to be mindful of portion sizes. Eating a large amount of peas can easily push your glucose levels too high, especially if the rest of your meal is also carb-heavy. But you don't have to give up peas entirely. The good news is that by eating peas in smaller portions and pairing them with high-fiber vegetables like spinach, kale, or broccoli, you can slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. Peas do have their benefits, but when it comes to diabetes management, it's all about finding the right balance. Next comes the beets. Beets are known for their vibrant color and sweet taste, but when it comes to managing diabetes, their natural sugar content can be a double-edged sword. While beets are packed with essential nutrients like folate, potassium, and fiber, they're also relatively high in natural sugars, which is what gives them that distinctive sweetness. For someone without diabetes, this isn't much of an issue, but for diabetics, this sugar can contribute to elevated blood glucose levels, especially if consumed in large amounts. The sugar in beets, though natural, can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, something that diabetics need to be mindful of. Beets have a moderately high glycemic index, GI, which means they can cause a quicker rise in blood glucose compared to other vegetables. When you eat high GI foods like beets, your body breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose quickly, leading to a rapid increase in blood sugar. Over time, these frequent spikes can contribute to complications such as insulin sensitivity, where the body becomes less effective at using insulin to lower blood sugar. The impact of beets on blood sugar is particularly significant because of their high sucrose content, a type of sugar that breaks down into glucose and fructose in the body. This quick conversion adds to the blood sugar load, forcing your pancreas to produce more insulin. For people with type 2 diabetes, who often struggle with insulin production or sensitivity, this can lead to a worsening of insulin resistance. Consuming too many beets can, over time, make it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar, aggravating diabetic conditions and increasing the risk of complications like neuropathy, nerve damage, and retinopathy, eye damage. However, not all is bad when it comes to beets. One of their redeeming qualities is their high content of nitrates, which have been shown to help lower blood pressure. For diabetics who are also dealing with high blood pressure, a common co-condition, this can be a beneficial aspect of eating beets in moderation. Nitrates help to relax and widen blood vessels, improving circulation and reducing the workload on the heart. This effect can be particularly helpful for diabetics, who are at a higher risk for heart disease and stroke. In short, beets offer a mix of pros and cons for diabetics. Their natural sweetness and high sugar content can make managing blood glucose levels more challenging, but their ability to lower blood pressure through nitrates can be an advantage. The trick is to enjoy them in small quantities and always be mindful of how they fit into your overall meal, ensuring you're balancing their effects with other diabetes-friendly foods. Next, carrots. Carrots are often seen as a super healthy vegetable, and in many ways, they are. They're packed with beta-carotene, an antioxidant that's great for vision, skin health, and even boosting immunity. But for diabetics, it's important to be cautious when eating carrots, especially in large amounts. Despite their many benefits, carrots have a higher glycemic index, GI, compared to other non-starchy vegetables. This means that eating too many can cause a spike in blood sugar, which can be problematic for someone trying to maintain steady glucose levels. When you eat carrots, their natural sugars, especially glucose and fructose, are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. This can lead to a sharp rise in blood sugar, which is something diabetics should avoid. For those who are insulin resistant, frequent blood sugar spikes can make it harder for the body to regulate glucose, exacerbating conditions like hyperglycemia or making it harder to maintain target blood sugar ranges. One of the reasons carrots can cause a blood sugar spike is because of their natural sucrose content, which breaks down into glucose and fructose, quickly raising blood glucose levels. While this might not be as severe as the effect from starchy vegetables like potatoes or corn, it's still something diabetics need to keep in mind. Eating too many carrots regularly could contribute to insulin resistance, making it more difficult for your body to use insulin effectively. Over time, this could lead to complications like nerve damage or kidney problems, both of which are common in people with poorly managed diabetes. However, carrots aren't all bad news. Their beta-carotene content, which the body converts into vitamin A, is fantastic for eye health, and this is particularly relevant for diabetics, who are at a higher risk of developing retinopathy, an eye condition caused by high blood sugar levels damaging the blood vessels in the retina. So, in moderation, carrots can still be part of a balanced diabetic diet. The key is portion control and ensuring that they're not the primary vegetable on your plate. If you enjoy carrots, try adding them to meals in smaller portions and balancing them with low GI vegetables like spinach, broccoli, or kale. These vegetables have a much lower glycemic index and are rich in fiber, which helps slow down the absorption of sugar from the carrots. This can help prevent sharp rises in blood sugar and allow you to still benefit from the nutrients carrots provide without compromising your glucose levels. Last but not least, pumpkin. It is often celebrated for its rich fiber content, vibrant color, and high levels of beta-carotene, which can do wonders for your vision and overall health. But when it comes to diabetes, pumpkin's high glycemic index, GI, is something to keep in mind. Despite its many nutritional benefits, the high GI means that eating pumpkin, especially in large quantities, can cause a noticeable spike in blood sugar. This is particularly true if pumpkin is consumed as part of a carbohydrate-heavy meal, where it can push glucose levels higher than you might expect. When you eat pumpkin, the carbohydrates it contains are broken down quickly, leading to a fast rise in blood sugar. This is because pumpkin's natural sugars and starches are readily absorbed into the bloodstream, which can be problematic for diabetics who need to maintain stable glucose levels. Over time, frequent spikes in blood sugar can contribute to insulin resistance, making it harder for the body to use insulin effectively. This can lead to more severe diabetic complications, such as neuropathy, nerve damage, or nephropathy, kidney damage, especially if blood glucose levels remain uncontrolled. However, it's not all bad news. Pumpkins offer valuable nutrients like beta-carotene, which is converted into vitamin A in the body, and they help promote good vision and boost immunity. For diabetics, beta-carotene's antioxidant properties can be particularly helpful in reducing inflammation and protecting against some of the complications that can arise from high blood sugar, such as eye problems like retinopathy. The challenge with pumpkin, as with many other high GI vegetables, is learning how to enjoy it without letting it throw off your blood sugar balance. If pumpkin is a favorite of yours, the key is to control portion sizes and balance it with other low GI vegetables. One strategy is to roast pumpkin and pair it with non-starchy vegetables like cauliflower, spinach, or broccoli. These vegetables are high in fiber and can help slow down the absorption of sugars from the pumpkin. By mixing in these low GI vegetables, you can mitigate the impact on your blood sugar and still enjoy the flavor and nutrients pumpkin has to offer. It's key to remember that these vegetables, while potentially harmful in large amounts, don't have to be completely off your plate. The real trick lies in portion control and balancing them with fiber-rich, low GI foods that can help steady your blood sugar. Your diet is one of the most powerful tools you have in managing diabetes, and being mindful of what you eat and how it affects your body can make all the difference in keeping those glucose levels in check. So, don't stress. You can still enjoy a wide variety of foods by making smart choices and practicing moderation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this information helpful. Stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.